Hey guys, and welcome to Tnashi's Movie Corner. So, for today's movie review, I'm going to review Logan, another James Mangold film, which he also did the Wolverine, and I'm going to kind of address the Wolverine. Even have I addressed that before? I'm going to bring it up briefly. But Hugh Jackman's last film, Patrick Stewart's last film, as Professor X, and of course as Wolverine, and heard a lot of praise. I think this was at 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. You guys know I don't really base everything off of Rotten Tomatoes by any means, but I was surprised how high it was going into it, and now I understand how high it was because this film was fantastic. I almost cursed. This was going to be an R-rated review, which would probably be deemed appropriate because the movie's R-rated, but this movie was awesome. I think I'm more on it than say Brad is, and there's a lot I can't really say. It does have a Western feel to it, and it does kind of pay homage to that Western type vibe in many aspects, so I thought that was good. It does break that kind of barrier between being a comic book film and being kind of just, I don't know how to say grounded, realistic film, but like The Dark Knight was. It kind of pulls that. It pulls that off. So that's really good. All the performances from the entire cast were amazing. Laura, a character in this, I don't know the name. Forgive me, of the actress off the top of my head, but she was brilliant, and I guess this was her first. Was this her first film? You guys gotta let me know that. But she was absolutely brilliant as her character. Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman have always done really well in their roles, respectively. Ever since 2000 came out, I was highly impressed with that. And of course, I saw Patrick Stewart back in Star Trek Next Generation, so that's where I got where I identified with him first as an actor. But there's so many levels to these characters in this movie that it really grips you, and this movie grips you hard emotionally. But I think that's appropriate, and I think that suits the story being told. And this story is actually, for the most part, kind of simple, but the way it plays out, the violence was necessary, the cursing was necessary. Nothing felt completely over the top. We got to see, Wolverine kind of unleash. And a lot of people like to say that by doing negative on the other ones. I think the other interpretations were just fine, for the most part, the films that I liked. And I actually liked the Wolverine a lot, minus the last battle. So this one kind of played up on that a little bit, and there's some nice Easter eggs too. I do think that we do see a side of Wolverine that we haven't quite seen in film, and I appreciated seeing that. So that that was all nice, but I think everything worked out, and the ending was so beautifully well done. I'm not going to do a spoiler review for this one. I just don't. The film's been out for a while. I'm sure you guys have seen it. So I'm just giving my thoughts on it. This is an absolute brilliant film. It's one of my favorite comic book movie films. It probably is one of my favorite films, period. I just don't know where it would rank on all that. There's a lot to go through, but I enjoyed just about every aspect of this movie. So giving it a rating 1 through 10, because again, I'm still stuck on those ratings, so you guys got to help me out. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. There's an argument to be made that there's no perfect movie, and I've said that before. I agree, but when all the problems I would have aren't even worth mentioning because they're so minor, I feel like you have to have a 10 out of 10, because otherwise, what's the point in having the cap of a 10 if you're never going to give something a 10? So for me, for the characters, for the story, for the action, the drama, the kind of intrigue that it had, the being conclusion to these, the closing chapters kind of into this world, at least for this movie's point of view. Everything the way everything panned out, all of that really worked, so I can't think of giving it lower. But what did you guys think about it? Go and let me know in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Click that like button, share, subscribe to my channel, and watch my other vids. Really listen to my other vids, because this is obviously very podcast type format. I mean, it's a picture, so I apologize. I just didn't feel the need to say go and do all these different clips of it versus doing the one clip with something representing me talking about it. I don't know. It's just the way I look at it. I didn't feel like it was worth doing everything else when you're just hearing my thoughts on it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this anyway. And until next time, peace.